I got the bright idea of buying a CNC router off of Facebook Marketplace, and shockingly, that was a poor decision. Yeah. But to be fair, it was kind of the plan. Realistically, I wanted to buy something that was very used, a little older, so I could see if this was actually a route that I wanted to take. I bought the CNC plasma table a couple years ago, and I bought some other equipment for the shop around here, and it's really helped me out. The next thing was some type of CNC router. I wanted to get this one because A, it was well into my budget. I didn't want to spend 15 to 20 grand on a router system, and I didn't really have the knowledge of it yet to justify bringing that into the shop. This one I picked up for 1,600 bucks back in October, and I have been fighting with it for several months trying to get it to communicate with my computer. It won't. It has decided that my computer is too new, or it is too tired and old to run. So I dug out the electronics from the bottom, where it has a program called Mach 3 that was really clunky, and I didn't really care for it too much. And there's going to be a lot of people on here that are like, oh my God, you don't like Mach 3 or Mach 4. No, I didn't like it. My CNC plasma table is really fast, really easy to use, and it's just really user friendly. And I kind of wanted to make this one somewhat the same. I went through and I bought a bunch of new parts because I figured this is a whole learning experience for me at this point. I might as well learn how the controllers and everything work. So I bought all the breakout boards and the control interface and a whole bunch of stuff, and I want to build my own controller for it. I would really like to put a controller back on the back wall right in this area right here that can kind of come out and get pushed back in when I don't need it anymore. It's going to be a lot of work, and I'm sure I'm going to do things wrong. I'm sure you are going to see things that I'm doing wrong, and I really want the input on it. I want to know what you guys think and whether or not I'm going the wrong route with this. This isn't like a commercial CNC system. This is one that was more home built. It's a Griffin CNC rail and gantry with a DeWalt spindle on it, which it's just a DeWalt router. It's not even really a spindle. I wanted to go this route because I'm not going to feel bad if I junk this. Yes, I'm going to be out some money, but I have a platform to start with to learn how these work a little bit better and kind of teach myself how everything works together instead of just buying a system right off the rip that is just plug and play. This way I can work on these systems if something goes wrong. I'll be able to diagnose what's happening, and later in the year when I start jumping up into a 3 or 4 axis CNC milling center, I'll be able to at least have somewhat of an idea of what's going on behind the curtain or the cabinet or control box, whatever you want to call it. So I think what we're going to do is we'll break this up into 2 sections, and honestly this first part I'm just going to start kind of messing with the wiring a little bit, explaining exactly what I'm doing with all the new electronics and stuff, and hopefully get some input. But to get started, we're going to go through all of the components that I have purchased so far. I think with the $1,600 that I spent originally, buying some milling bits, router bits, and then buying the new components, I think I have around $2,800 wrapped up into this so far. And if I can get it up and running and make a little bit of money on it, fantastic. If not, that sucks. But I wanted to learn. I wanted to understand how this works, and this is kind of what this is all about, is just teaching myself things that I don't know, because, you know, a lot of times I'm out here on my own and there's not a lot of people to give me a hand with this part of stuff. So yeah, let's get started. All right. Here you can kind of see the basic layout of the control box that I'm going to be using, and I'm just going to quickly explain what some of this stuff is. I don't think I got to explain the cooling fans, which are 120 millimeters. Those are pretty self-explanatory. I did buy a new power supply. This is, I believe, a 600 watt, 25 amp setup, because I was going to run out of power with all the new stuff. This is one of the micro stepper drivers. I don't know if that'll actually go into focus, maybe. There we go. And this one actually has a little bit higher amperage because I'm going to try and wire both the Y-axis in the same driver and just flip the wires on the one, because I accidentally got the wrong control board Actually, it wasn't an accident. Something happened, and then now I can't return it. Whatever. The controller is a DDCS V3.1 or Series 1 or whatever. This is a standalone controller. I'll be able to plug a USB into this little guy here and basically run all my G-code from this. So it should make it a lot easier. It came with this little pennant here where I'll be able to kind of set everything up easier that way. I'll be able to walk around the table and stuff, like come to this end and then go that way. So I can zero everything out without having to move my laptop or move the controller here. Had a brain fart. Obviously, need a power button. I did purchase a emergency stop button or an e-stop button. You'll hear me refer to as an e-stop. Some relays, a little bus bar here. These little power supplies came with the controller. I need to have one for the controller and then one for the pennant. Other than that, I think it's going to be pretty simple. I do have actually I do have two more of these micro stepper drivers coming in. They are for the Z-axis and the X-axis on the gantry. And hopefully everything just kind of works and I don't have to do a whole bunch of trial and error because I'm getting a lot more money in this than what I originally wanted. You can kind of see how I have things set up here. This obviously is going to be on the front door, kind of like up a little bit more, and the door is going to go that way over there on the wall. I'm going to have slots cut down in the bottom of the box on each side of this intake fan, and I'm going to make these the exhaust fan. My idea is that since dust is going to be coming down, maybe it will slow some of it down from going in, like directly through the top. I am going to make some type of filter for the bottom of the control box on both top and bottom. And then I'm going to leave room in here to put a VFD at some point, because when I upgrade from the DeWalt router to a higher horsepower spindle, I want to be able to run a VFD so I can actually control the speed through the VFD of the spindle itself. So that way when I get into plastics and maybe like some thin aluminum and engraving and stuff like that, I'll be able to do that easily without having to walk over to the router itself and adjust it and blah blah blah. I just want to be able to handle everything from the control. To wrap this video up, if you want to keep up with stuff like this that I'm going to be doing in the shop here, I have some updates. I want to do the plasma table eventually and build a couple other machines kind of like this once I get this one out of the way. I ask you to like this video, maybe subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up with things around here. I'm Zach Leber, this is the Laboratory, and until next time, go build something. See you guys. I got the bright idea to buy a to wrap this video up. I got the bright idea of buying a son of a bitch. To wrap this video up,